talk about the updated best offensive playbooks at Madden 25. We're starting with the Packers. I gotta mention the bunch, strong, nasty. And the main reason for this playbook is that there's a bunch of meta formations that has a certain play called the PA cheat verticals Y slide. Okay, it's a big, long thing, but we're going to call this play. Let's go up against random defense. And this is very similar to the bunch X nasty motion play, which you may have heard of, may have seen. But what's cool here is that there's a play action part of this. And if you don't know, play action in Madden and in college football will give you different blocking than what will than what will happen on non-play action plays. You can actually see that in the offensive line, pass blocking, little like play art where they're attacking. That's because they're selling the run. Whereas I were to go into something like, wow, it's actually all play action plays here. Let's go to triple out, little audible to triple out. Notice here, they're now kick stepping, they're now drop stepping, right? And creating a actual pocket. What this allows you to do is really attack different styles of blitzes, like looping blitzes and disengage blitzes. Although disengage is not as popular anymore. Looping blitzes, that can be really, really cool. And then that auto motion, it just gets to a cool part of the field. Now, we could talk more about that, but we got to keep it going. RPO, zone read bubble, really, really good here as well. PA cross, and also we're going to have the mesh flat spot and the the PA double post, which I actually think is a really good play. If we look at the rest of this playbook, especially in the shotgun, we're going to have a plethora of meta formations, right? The bunch tight end. This is something that a lot of people like. I actually just don't think bunch tight end is that good this year. I think a lot of tight sets in general are not great. And especially when you're super, like this is super compressed. The tight end side's hard to attack. I think switch stick against good players, it's just tough to use a formation like this. And it's why you haven't really seen, I don't think we've seen like a bunch tight end make a live event yet this year. Maybe we've seen it once. Maybe. But it's just tough, man. It's just tough. We have the bunch wide. This is popular. A big thing that people love from this is a play like corner divide. And this is taking advantage of a route that we're going to talk about a lot today, which is the return route. These return routes, or backwards zigs, people will call them, are so freaking good. I love them. I've loved them for years. So they've always been good. And this year, they've really been made their way into a bunch of different playbooks and become super, super popular. So we've talked about a good amount of things already in Packers, but they also have a full trips tight end. We even have an entire trips tight end Packers scheme over on Civil GG because I think this is really, really good. Now, I do rock another playbook now, but still really, really good. Under center is decent. Just in general, this year, I mean, it's decent for under center, but in general this year, there's not much good under center stuff. So just keep that in mind. And it even has one of my favorite random kind of formations, the tight Y off, just because this formation is always it's just solid. And if you want a good main beating play, do something like this, especially against like cover zero, little auto motion, boom, boom, a little kind of a gotcha. Nice little red zone gotcha play. All right, next playbook. Next up, we got the Chargers playbook. And the reason for the Chargers, it really dumbs all the way down into three main formations. The first one I'll talk about is the tray offset. Now, this is essentially a trips style, or is a trip style formation. And it has a lot of the basic trips plays that you might find. A really good example of just a solid trips play with something like stick right here. If you go stick, drag the tight end, then you go a little curl route right here, little post. It's like curl flat from some other trips tight end sets. Now, what makes this Trey instead of trips tight end is Trey will have the innermost wide receiver, the inside slot B right here. He'll be on the line of scrimmage. If it was trips tight end, X would be on the line of scrimmage. And if it was trio, it'd be the middle wide receiver on the line of scrimmage. That's the number 2 guy, okay? So just a fun little thing for you right there. Hopefully that's maybe you learned something from this video, okay? Next up, though, bunch strong offset. This is freaking nasty. What the main play here is going to be is that gun bunch flood. Like this play is an absolute killer. People attack with seam streaks from this all the time. They'll put 2 streaks right here, or they'll put a streak on the tight end, snap this play, look for a quick seam and demon type thing. Super annoying, super frustrating. The seams have never been more open in this game, and they are very. This play allows you to do it right there. Not open, but you get kind of the idea. We're also gonna have a we're gonna have an RPO from this, so we always like having the ability to have an RPO right here inside. Actually, no, this one has. That's right. I got this mixed up. My fault. This one has the duo, and the duo is cool because this is a different style of run play. We're gonna get a little bit more downhill, and this is going to absolutely tear up things like double mug, but really it's gonna tear up any kind of light box, like where they're like in dollar or something. These duo plays, they get downhill and they freaking attack. You can see how just it's a tough run to shoot. You're gonna get a few different double teams happening here, right here, point of attack, double team, boom, Shoulder batters are low. We're going to make it through this video, though. Duo is absolutely nasty. And we're also going to have a play called fake toss slide. That's a cool play. A few different ways to run this. Easy setup for it, though. Something like this. Or, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Something like this. Really easy setup. High-low left side. Got that seam streak. People love this. Boom, boom. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. You're able to move the ball really, really well, right? Okay, we're talking about Bunch Strong, but what else does this have? Well, it has a Bunch X Nasty. Now, the Bunch X Nasty, this one is actually slightly worse than another playbook we're going to talk about here in a moment. But what this does have is the return whip trail play. This is really, really good. It's also in Michigan's playbook in college football. And it's going to have motion, cross, post. Now, motion, cross, post, very similar motion to what we had earlier out of the play action play inside of Bunch Strong Offset. Nasty. This one just is not play action. Okay, so keep that in mind. Easy setup that people like to do for this. Something like this right here. Or, block the halfback if you wanted to. And this does a really good job of attacking a lot of coverages. We'll go here. We get anything? Yeah, slant. Beautiful. One hand. Oh, I tried one-handing it, but it was a bad throw. That, really, though, those three formations are what make Chargers really, really good. And a lot of people, I feel like, will overlook the tray offset that I mentioned. Don't overlook that. It's really good. There's some other decent stuff here. It's just nothing crazy. And I'm so sorry to everybody who loves single back in this game, or like in Madden and whatnot. It's just single back under center stuff has probably never been worse in the game. And I'm not going to sit here. The goal of this is for you to learn more about the game and get better at the game and have more tools in your toolbox. I'd be lying if I sat here talked about a lot of cool, about a lot of things under center. I will say I like stretches and wide zones in short yardage situations when you're playing. I feel like they do a better job. I guess a lot of people like to stack the box. I feel like dives in this game kind of suck. And this one does have a good amount of stretches, right? You see the wing slot stretch, see the stretch alert lookie, right? Ace slot has a wide zone, ace close has a stretch. So this does have a stretch tour, which I'm a big fan of in those short yardage situations. So I want to give a fun playbook some due diligence here. Now, this is probably not one of the actual best playbooks, so if you think that makes this clickbait, I'm sorry. But the Washington Commanders playbook is really, really fun. And if we get into the shotgun, we're going to immediately see something called the go-go slot open. This is from the UNLV playbook inside of the College Football 25 game. And this has a lot of cool stuff, right? One of my favorite plays is actually the RPO read halfback flat, where inside of this, we have the option to do a read option. So right here, we actually end up throwing it, though. I made the wrong read on the read option because I suck. But if you want to keep that ball in the read option, hold A or X on PlayStation, hand it off, press nothing. And you have the option to throw this halfback flat, getting behind two lead blockers to the sideline. That can be very, very good. It's a fun thing. And there's a triple option out of this. The pass plays aren't great. I'm not going to say pretend they are. This pass play right here, though. Like, watch this. Here's a route combo. I'm serious. Steal this. This is a solid route combo. Not the best thing ever. Not the best thing ever. But to pretend like that's not solid would be crazy. It'd be nuts. Okay? So, we have that. We're also going to have something that is just traditionally good. Now, you see we have some fun things right here, like the split slot offset. There's some. Double pass. Where I have RPO read counter. Don't call that. Don't call that. Don't call that. I am curious about something. I don't know if this is true or not. Okay, yeah. The RPO read swing is not a read swing. It's just an RPO swing. Just keep that in mind. It's not a read option. Gun heavy. We have that. But we're going to have the gun bunch strong offset with a few plays like Seattle corner strike. Really easy setup for Seattle would be something like, let's go drag the tight end, streak the halfback, and we have one of the most meta route combos in Madden 24 and still really good in Madden 25. This right here. Screenshot it or pause it or rewind. All right, let's keep it moving. So we have something that's like more traditional meta, which is just good, and it's good to have stuff like that. Gun tight, I don't think it's very good this year, but it is something. Now, the gun spread has some cool stuff inside of it. Really, with the H wheel play, I think is really cool, along with, where is it here? You see some cool stuff. Where is this play? Is that the bottom? Yeah, levels a Y sail. I think it's actually a really cool play. Just put your halfback on a flat, because the stock flat kind of sucks. Snap the ball, and you have some options here. Let's go. We'll go X. I'm going to one-hand it. Oh. Why did I one-hand that? Interesting. Okay, nonetheless. Sure. Gun trips. It has some stuff. Really, though, this is a more unique playbook. This would be something where, like, you're trying to have a little bit more fun than you are really trying to optimize for winning games, which I think is fair. And I do think you can do some cool stuff here out of the go-go. Let's go one time with the triple option. If I get a big play here, you have to run this. Shoot. Wait, I actually had a good... Next one. Now, if you watched my content recently, you knew this one coming. We are in the Detroit Lions playbook. And this one, we're going to have that Bunch X Nasty that we talked about earlier. One of the cool plays that this has that the other Bunch X Nasties don't necessarily is, and there's a few. One is this play motion halfback choice. This little seam route's really good. And then one that's underrated, I feel like, is the Y option pivot. Now, this play is cool because you could set it up a few different ways. We have a stock zig. One of my favorite ways to do it, though, is something like this, right? This is a very basic play. We just have this option of either hitting the flat quickly or hitting the zig in the seam. A lot of people overlook these zig routes, man. I'm telling you, if you can get them going, they're a great play to add into your arsenal. And notice how we're going to have a man and zone beater on this one. And then you also have a little hook and ladder opportunity to then break your player's kneecap when you're being stupid. Let's go again. Here's that zone. Here's that, seam throw kind of against zone to the zig. It's pretty good, man. I think it's something that you should consider. Now, let's keep it moving, though. Bunch Y flex. I don't call this at all, although I do think it's pretty solid. And the Bunch X Nasty I didn't mention has the motion cross post. This trips tight end, though, does have the best play in the game, which is motion Y post. Trips tight end flex, best play in the game, motion Y post. This can also be found inside the Eagles playbook. So there's another option for you. I like to do just streak the inside wide receiver. Now, I have a bunch of setups for this, but easy one. Just streak that inside wide receiver or slant that inside wide receiver. You're going to be able to beat a lot of coverages doing this. You got to just make the reads. I am telling you, this is one of those plays where if you can make reads, dude, and you got to learn the play, right? It's not going to be overnight. A lot of people think it's just going to be overnight. You're going to become a great player. No, not how it happens. But you get good at making the reads, you're going to be cooking some dudes. Like, you have a lot of different options on this play. The Eagles one does have an RPO bubble / RPO like speed out from the tight end. This one doesn't, so you are a little bit limited in that area. This one does have an inside zone, which I actually don't mind. I average 3.7 a pop with it. I feel like I've gotten better with it. And then this one also has tight end in, which might be in Philly, I think. But tight end in is a solid play. If I'm being totally transparent with you, it is mostly trips tight end for the motion Y post, okay? This is why I'm in the Lions playbook. I like the Bunch X Nasty. One of the things that also is in here is the doubles Y off Nasty. This is in Eagles too, though. But I just want to mention that one of my favorite red zone plays is the RPO zone read bubble. This is a really easy one, right? You have this read option going on here. Let's keep it. We should have thrown it, but it's fine. Let's do it again. Keeping it. I'm keeping it. Come here. Okay. This is going hilariously bad, but you get the idea. You're a smart dude. All right, handoff. That time, now we're cooking. We're a gain of 3. It really is one of my favorite red zone plays, though. And then the under center has some pretty good stretch runs out of it. It's nothing crazy, though, unfortunately. But all in all, this is my favorite playbook so far. But again, it's based around this right here. If you don't like this, you don't like the playbook, which is fine. This is a playbook I have not talked about this year, the Patriots playbook. Now, you might be saying, Civil, why the Patriots play? Why do you think this is good? Well, there's 2 main reasons. First of all, we'll go to an old friend called the Trips tight end. We got some basic stuff out of here. It's nothing crazy that you probably haven't seen from Trips tight end before, right? We have the China Y post. That's a good one. We have curl flat. We talked about curl flat earlier. We made it out of tray off set in Chargers. What we could do here, though, is simply drag the tight end, and we have the setup. So it's a really good quick snap play. We got a quick little read between the tight end drag, which I love, and this halfback angle. And you also have a nice little high-low on the sideline with the flat and the curl. This is not incredible against man, but it can beat man, okay? Not incredible against man, but can beat man as we hurdle into CTE. The reason we're in this, though, is because of a little-known formation called U-trips, also known as the Y-off trips Pats nowadays. People call this U-trips a lot, though. This formation is really cool, has unique alignment, and offers some things that you really just can't find in a lot of other formations. So let's go tight end whip right here. Let's go random play. Now, we can run this a few different ways. The main way I see this ran is something along the lines of like this right here, where we have this play, and then halfback can do a bunch of different things. We'll go here. Tight end whip route, really, really good out of this, okay? The run game isn't great here. I won't pretend it is. But, what else do we have? It's like, dude, I have like some in my throat from it might be the Patriots offensive coordinator, but like genuinely have some in my throat. This also does have a stock fade on this ISO guy too, which is cool. Now, what's interesting is that this slot guy is, let's audible to more of a normal play. He is a slot wide receiver. So he's not going to get like the speed out routes, stuff like that. He will get corner routes. You can put him on, a lot of people put him on posts. So like something like this right here is actually like a combo I think is really, really good and really, really underrated. Do this. Bang. And let's go. We had the post. We just got shedded instantly. A big issue with this formation is that the play action plays are kind of bad. And whenever you have bad play action plays, it's just like, I mean, it could be fine. It just could limit you in the future. With Trips Titan, though, you can be okay. It does have Gun Bunch as well. So you have verticals, you have some stuff from that. Overall, this is a really good playbook and one that I would not be surprised to see either myself in or some content on Civil.gg with this playbook. Does not have any good auto motions, really. A couple of like, these aren't great, though. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy in the auto motion department. Although this did used to have auto motions like before a lot of other formations had auto motions. It just never was like good auto motion or anything. You enjoyed the video, make sure that subscribe button, totally free, helps out the channel a ton. You want to get better, check out the website, civil.gg, link top description. Get 30% off with code CivilP. I'll see you guys all over there.